still remember walking through those woods like it was yesterday. It's hard to believe that was over 2 years ago now. I never meant for so much chaos. That first night was nothing more than reenactments. Yes, Damon definitely did see something creepy on his bike ride, but when we returned, there was nothing more than stories and laughs. However, I think something evil got interested in us that evening and followed us closely. When it came time to visit our next location of interest, our friend Derek was able to join us. We ventured into these woods without a lot of personal stories, mostly tales of ghostly history. As the night grew closer, events started getting stranger. At some point, we ended up losing Mike. I'm not sure when it actually happened. Things started to blur together. We finally did find Mike. Well, it seemed like Mike. The entity chased us out. We blacked out, and after waking up the next day, we moved on and spoke little about these events. Something changed after that night. We all still had a lot of questions, and we were ready to dive into something new. This time, we wanted to look into a local legend, the Beast of Bray Road. This was something that had been well documented and researched. It even made its way into pop culture with things like ridiculous horror movies. With the help of Linda Godfrey's book about the beast, we set out on another expedition. Thinking back to what happened on outing number 2, we thought we'd lighten the mood a little bit this time and mess with Derek. We were going to have him meet us on one of the trails, and once he arrived, he'd be met with nothing more than the sounds of pre-recorded werewolf sounds. We'd record his reaction, have some laughs, and go home. Fun for all. One problem. We never found Derek. What we did find was his bag and his phone. As we got deeper in the woods, it was becoming clear what happened to Derek, and it appeared that we were next. We aren't exactly sure what the exact sequence of events were or how we made it out alive. Derek never spoke about what he saw that night. We needed some time away from all this for a while. Luckily, winter was the perfect excuse for us all to do just that. We got away from the cases and tried to reflect, tried to celebrate the holidays, and just tried to forget. By the end of spring that year, we wondered if we were ever going to reunite. The first to reach out was Derek. He wanted to meet at a local park, the one where Mark Borchardt had shot some footage for a coven. He said that he had a surprise for us, and we needed to meet him at the scuba diving area. It ended up being a wild and nearly deadly chase. He wasn't in the first spot that he said he'd be in. After searching a bit, Damon decided to use his drone to start looking. Just a few seconds into flying, something weird happened. Damon lost control of the drone. It landed in some weird ruins, on top of a book. Not just any book either, the Book of the f***ing Dead. We snatched the book and the drone and continued to look for Derek. He told us to move on to another area of the park for some reason. Things went from, "we're a bit worried here," to "holy shit," as Damon lost control of the drone again. This time, it was after us, and it managed to get Mike. The two of us ran back to the lot to try to make a break for it, but whatever was possessing the drone had moved on to one of the cars. Damon became the second unfortunate victim, while I managed to find a safe spot in the weeds. While looking on in horror, I received another message from Derek. He said he was down at the pavilion now, and something about a tasty sandwich. I had no other option but to go to the pavilion. Upon arriving, of course, no Derek. There were things needed, though, for a tasty sandwich, so I figured, what the hell, why not? Huge mistake. What the? When all was said and done, we all somehow made it out alive. I heard that the military got involved and the park was shut down for a bit. Derek claimed he never sent any of those messages. We ended up selling the book for $666, so I guess it wasn't all bad. Exhausted, we were just happy to be back together, but we all agreed that our next case would be something lower stress. Turned out, just a few weeks later, Mike had just the thing. Toward the end of summer, Mike was speaking to his uncles and they told him about a situation they were having with the farm. A missing cow. They seemed haunted, like there was something more to it. After speaking to them and watching the security footage, maybe there was indeed. We still all sort of thought that this was a run-of-the-mill, easy money missing cow case. They thought aliens. Their prized cow Ellie was gone from this earth. Could it be? No way. She had probably run off into the woods. We had witnessed some crazy stuff, but aliens? We ventured in, calling out Ellie's name every once in a while. We made our way to a small pond and feared that Ellie had fallen in and drowned. Mike stepped up to the plate and dove in to find out. No Ellie. Damn. The hunt continued. After trekking around a little while longer, something happened. We saw this really bright light. From there, well...
So bright. Guys! Oh my God. Ah! I don't know where I am. Damon? Derek? Mike? Damon? Derek?
Something had clearly happened to all of us, and though we were all really shook, Derek seemed to be affected the most. That was the final straw. We tried to make it work. We tried to crack cases and answer questions, but we strained friendships, and worse. Well, after that night with the missing time and the different visions, we lost Derek. The group saw no reason to go on. I went back to school. Damon went back to teach, and I had heard that Mike was doing delivery or something. It wasn't until I discovered a head in my fridge on Friday the 13th that year that I realized this isn't over yet. I called up Damon and told him that I thought Derek may still be out there, and though it sounded crazy, we had to go to Crystal Lake. We couldn't do this thing without Mike, and we sort of tricked him into coming out. He wasn't thrilled. At a certain point, he had no choice but to believe us as Jason, aka Derek, popped out and began chasing us. We managed to outrun him and find a clearing where we could set up camp. We thought we had a plan, but Derek had a plan as well. it came down to Mike versus Derek, with Mike managing to come out on top. With the mask busted, Derek came to his senses and the evil moved on. Or so we thought. I'm pretty sure Damon didn't make it, though crazy things have happened. The status of Derek and Mike? I have no idea. I'm writing this from an unknown location. I'm very badly wounded and this bloody journal may be my legacy. I hope that they are all still out there and we can reunite someday. That would be nice. If not, you must believe that all of these tales of encounters that we had, though insane, were all completely true.